Now, do you remember the magical show where toys came to life and danced through the night? Well, in this episode of Blast from the Past TV, we are looking back at a beloved TV classic. If you have not guessed it, we are talking about The Toy Castle, a uniquely enchanting children's program that combined classical ballet, gentle storytelling, and soft moral lessons to create something truly unforgettable. But guys, before we dive into this beautiful show, make sure to hit the like button down below, subscribe so you do not miss an episode of Blast from the Past TV. And if you want to see all the other episodes we have done on this channel, make sure to hit the playlist down below. But with that all being said, let's get into it. Now, The Toy Castle aired from 2000 to 2003, mainly on Treehouse TV in Canada and PBS in the US. It was a Canadian production that brought the theatrical flair to children's programming by blending live-action ballet with toy-inspired fantasy. Now, the premise was simple yet imaginative. When the children leave the playroom, the toys come alive. Kind of remind you of that other movie, right? But unlike most kids shows, they didn't just talk or play. They danced. Each character expressed emotions and storylines through ballet and miming, supported by the whimsical narration. Now, the story was created by Catherine Jeans and produced by Sound Venture Productions, alongside Moret Motion Pictures. Directed by David Langer, the show featured a cast of professional trained dancers who performed choreographed routines in elaborate costumes. The show had a total of 65 episodes, each lasting roughly 15 minutes and usually broken down into 2 or 3 short stories. There was classical music from composers like Stravinsky and Prokofiev filled the air, the setting, the tone for every step, every twirl, and every leap. The result was peaceful, dreamlike atmosphere, ideal for preschoolers winding down before bedtime. Now, the magic of The Toy Castle lies within its characters. Each toy had a defined personality and dance style, representing different aspects of childhood emotions. For example, there's the Ballerina. Graceful and gentle, she often took a motherly or peacemaking role in the stories. She embodied kindness, patience, and understanding. The soldier was disciplined, brave, yet emotionally reserved. His unspoken affection for the ballerina added subtle depth to many episodes. The clown was the comic relief, the China doll elegant but vain. There was the fairy, there was the rag doll spunky, curious, and playful, and there was even a strong man, physically powerful but gentle at heart. Every character interaction taught a valuable lesson about empathy, friendship, compromise, and imagination. Without harsh conflict or overstimulation, the show used its quiet power to help children process their emotions. Now, visually, The Toy Castle was striking. The set resembled an ornate Victorian nursery filled with oversized props and carefully arranged spaces to mimic a toy eye's view. The lighting was soft and muted and often resembling stage lighting, enhancing the show's theatrical feel. The costumes were detailed and expressive, designed to invoke dolls, clowns, soldiers, and fairies, while remaining functional for ballet. The dancers' movements told entire stories without speaking a single word. Only occasional narration helped young viewers to follow along. Now, it was more than just a movement and music. The Toy Castle was about feelings. It helped kids identify emotions like jealousy, excitement, as well as frustration through physical expression. Now, each story ended with a lesson, not in a preachy way, but a softly and gently encouraging children to reflect on themselves. Episodes tackled issues like being left out, being too bossy, learning to say sorry, or understanding someone else's perspective. For children still learning to express themselves, it was quite a guide through the world of emotions. Now, the Toy Castle show wasn't as widely known as other shows around that time. It still left a lasting impression on those who watched it. In a sea of loud, fast-paced programming, it stood out being calm elegant, and deeply imaginative. Today it's considered a hidden gem, cherished by a niche but loyal fanbase. Rare DVD collections, scattered episodes on YouTube, and nostalgic fan discussions still keep the memory alive. And of course, segments like these where we talk about these old, beautiful shows that we all grew up on and talk about what made them so special and what kept them near and dear to our hearts. Now, I actually grew up watching the show. I remember when I was a kid, it was kind of a late night show, so I used to watch it before bed. There's something about this show that I just loved watching. I don't know if it was all the different characters or the way they just express themselves through dance. It was such a fun and intriguing show to watch as a kid. It was something different. As I said before, it wasn't loud, it wasn't fast, it was something simple. You can just watch and enjoy it for what it was. Now, sadly, the show never received a reboot or a revival, but its charm always still lives on. A lot of the dancers have returned to stage work, and little is known about some of the behind-the-scenes crew. Now, the Toy Castle was more than just a show. It was a lullaby in visual form, a reminder that stories can be told through movement, that emotions can be learned through empathy, and that sometimes the quietest shows have the loudest impact. If you remember watching the Toy Castle, let us know your favorite character or moment in the comments. Or if you've never seen the show, are you going to go check it out? Let me know. Maybe it's time to discover the magic for the very first time. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Blast from the Past TV. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If there's any other show you guys want me to check out, join my Discord and let me know there. Everything will be in the description down below. Thank you guys so much, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.